Hey guys, it's Roscoe, and on the Space Couch today, it's time for another update on reaction engines. I swear they're like buses. There's nothing for ages, and then several happen in quite quick succession. So they have done their initial testing of the pre-cooler unit at their new facility in Colorado. That is the piece of the technology that extracts all of the heat from the air, like from 1,000 degrees down to minus whatever in like 100th of a second or whatever it is. It's not quite as extreme as that. I think in this particular case they simulated speeds of Mach 3.3, which obviously is 50% faster than Concorde ever flew, because it was just over Mach 2. But this matches the Blackbird, was at the SR-71, which I think was the fastest plane that wasn't hypersonic that's ever flown. So that is very interesting news, and it did work very, very well, which is great news because that's like a really crucial part of the tech. If you recall, I think my very first video I did like 4 years ago on reaction engines, where I was talking about the original HOTOL, when they were trying to remove the heat, there was too much frosting occurred, so it looked like it was encased in ice. This has now solved that problem. It's a big technological problem to solve as well, and obviously they have been working on it for a very long time. And it's those very thin tubes that are thinner than a human hair that are filled with chilled helium, and that is what extracts all of the heat from the oncoming hot air as it's flying, or in this case the jet engine that they had basically pointed right at it, the afterburner anyway. And that can then be dispersed to wherever, like say into the engine core as an afterburner type thing to help with its performance there. So yes, it's very good news. I'm absolutely delighted to see that there is more progress being made. I believe they're also going to be doing some more testing of that at their facility that they're building here in the UK in Buckinghamshire. But yes, for those tests, they, as I said, simulated speeds of Mach 3.3, and it was a J79 engine from an F4 Phantom that they used to, I guess it wouldn't be attached per se, but basically blasting all of the hot gases from its afterburner straight into this piece of tech to see what it makes of that. Because at the speeds that it's planned for the reaction engines Skylon, if that project ever gets built as a space plane, the speeds are so fast it would melt the engine without some sort of pre-cooling tech, and this obviously, as I said, is what they've come up with to solve that technological problem. So yes, very exciting news. I'm not quite sure what the next stage of the testing will be. I assume the other parts of the engine will need to undergo the test, but this is a very critical test that they have passed, and obviously there will be other tests at higher speeds and greater temperatures, I expect. They'll have to basically test it to destruction, I expect, to see just how much heat it can remove before it stops working. But yes, it is great news. I've been a big fan of this project ever since the HOTOL days when I was a teenager. I thought, oh, that'd be amazing, and of course it still hasn't taken to the air, but it does look like the engine at some point will make it onto some kind of vehicle. That pre-cooling tech is useful for anything that requires thermal management, which is most engines, you would expect. And they did say it could also be used in hybrid electric vehicles as well, because obviously the batteries will need thermal management. We've seen that problem with various products in the past, with batteries getting too hot and bursting into flames, whatever. This would certainly solve that problem to have some of those tubes wrapped around it, transferring away all of the excess heat. But yes, I just thought I would share that with you guys. Reaction engines continue to impress with their formidable technology. Fingers crossed the next stages go just as well. Please subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. Leave me a comment or suggestion for an upcoming topic you'd like to see discussed, or like the video.